This one.
Yeah, like what were we saying about like Wiz Khalifa? Like I feel like Wiz Khalifa was always mediocre in my opinion, and I didn't hear his very first mixtape or whatever.
Well, I heard his first mixtape and I liked it. And
Did you like it because it had good songs, or did you like it because Wiz Khalifa was? Oh no, but we're talking about super like lyricism. Was he like?
No, he wasn't like a super lyricist.
That's what I'm talking about. Snoop. We talking about like and just to, put everything in context. We're talking about like rappers who were rapping about weed, because I brought up a rapper by the name.
I got
of
TV on. Hold on.
Oh, but yeah, I was talking about rappers that I brought up a cat named Like from Pac Div. That's a really dope group. I don't even know if they like made an album like recently, but they're a really dope like West Coast group. And Like put out a solo album that I kind of wasn't feeling, and he's a dope lyricist, but he was mostly talking about weed, and I just wasn't feeling that shit. And
you said Life?
Like.
Oh, like.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like L-I-S-K.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But then we started talking about like rappers that talked about weed in their, in their songs, and we mentioned Wiz Khalifa and we mentioned Snoop Dogg, and I said to me both of them cats are mediocre, and they have always I'll say with the exception of Snoop Dogg, like early in his career, all the way to maybe I don't know Last Meal. I thought Last Meal was alright, but like I always felt like Snoop Dogg got like to a point where he got mediocre and got complacent in his lyricism, but. As you were said, Phenom. He was trying to make a point of mentioning Wiz Khalifa's first mixtape or album or whatever.
Yeah, for me that shit was just dope. Yeah, because I never even when he came on, I wasn't looking to him to be like a super spiritual lyrical cat. It was more of a feel good vibe I got from that.
No, but that was my
out for me.
That was my argument as far as like being lyrical. Wiz Khalifa was never
we
lyrical.
talking about lyrical,
yeah.
But like we're talking about like purely like talent wise and like. What they could have been compared to what they are today. Yeah, I thought he'd be different.
Talent as far as being able to craft a good song.
Yeah, like he was a good that mixtape had some good songs on there, like good.
I don't think Wiz Khalifa is shitty at making a good song, but I think the quality of song like pop it's gonna be a poppy song in my opinion. It's gonna be a song that like is gonna be more catered towards the pop audience. Yeah. Like his earlier songs were you could say they were like. Not necessarily hip hop, but like more, I guess, rap, like a rap song. But like his songs now are like way more pop and mainstream. Not even knocking that, but just saying that he doesn't necessarily make music I feel like is real interesting. He just makes music that it's gonna play on the radio, it's gonna go number 1, 2, 3, some shit like that. So
yeah. I mean, yeah. He ain't the J Electronica. He got work.
Yeah, we were like prior to even recording this shit, man. We were talking about like Jay Elect and how we kind of tired of people mentioning him. I haven't heard like I haven't had as many conversations outside of our collective like about hip hop. So I don't hear too many people mentioning Jay Elect like that. But evidently people still mention Jay and mention that he could come out with an album and you can't diss him as much because. He's still a good lyricist, and I'm kind of not trying to hear that shit, man.
Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit unless we see that album right there. It's like, bro, you ain't really got no excuse. I don't think Jay-Z holding your shit back. I think you holding your shit back, dog.
Nah. Because if you want to make the argument that Jay-Z's holding Jay Elect shit back...
He was holding J. Cole shit back.
Yeah, then you have to throw him in the pot.
Then what J. Cole doing? That man winning.
Yeah, exactly. On his own terms, too.
Exactly.
Like he's making the music he wants to make, and if he doesn't want to do any more features, which he said he's not going to do any features anytime soon, he's not doing any features, and he's not having people featured on his song. So
it's crazy because I do want that J. Cole Kendrick album.
Man, I'd rather hear the fucking what is that shit? It's supposed to be the Chance and Childish album. I want to hear that shit, man.
I can hear both.
I'm not excited. I'm like, and people can call me a J. Cole hater. I have been on record of saying that I'm not.
Fuck that nigga. I want to make that.
No. I've never said fuck that nigga. I said I wasn't into that nigga like that, and I think he's overrated, and I think he's boring at times, man. So like, I'm not really trying to hear
typical hater behavior.
Okay, yeah, I guess so. But yeah, I'm not really trying to hear somebody that I consider not that interesting as a lyricist with somebody that Kendrick that I feel like is like an incredibly interesting. Innovative, like super lyrical lyricist, but I don't think it's gonna be. If they come out with the album together, I don't think it would be shitty. I just think I would be under impressed by whatever J. Cole was spitting, especially in comparison to Kendrick. Come on, you think that J. Cole could like spit something that's going to equate to what Kendrick spits? Really?
Equate is going to be different things because as an MC, I think Kendrick is the better MC. But
way better.
As far as like
way better. Kendrick's at 1. Everybody else is probably like starting at maybe 10 or 11.
But I think
in his generation, I'll say in his generation.
What J. Cole has on him is like
production, of course.
It's like song structure. Granted, Kendrick has amazing song structures
he does.
too, but J. Cole like it's more like he thrived in that. So you could probably hate on J. Cole as a rapper, you can, but you can't deny that cat's skills as a producer.
I can't deny his skills, but he doesn't bring anything to the table that's interesting as far as being a producer.
I mean, yes, he does.
How interesting? I can hear some shit that he produces that Premier can produce. That fucking who else? Like any boom bap producer that can produce what J. Cole produces.
J. Cole just don't produce boom bap though.
I'm not saying but I'm just saying he's not an interesting producer. He doesn't have his own sound to the point where I'm like, yo, I gotta hear a J. Cole produced project.
Like you just gotta buy.
I'm just saying. No, because like, check this out. As a producer, Mike Will has made certain songs or made his production style has a interesting individualistic sound to it. Metro Boomin has an individual. It's trap, but he has his own sound to it. Fucking who else? There's like several.
Metro Boomin.
I'm just saying, there's just like several producers that have their own lane and have their own sound that's interesting, that's unique, and that brings like a different flavor than J. Cole shit. J. Cole shit just sounds like quintessential.
It just depends
hippity hop shit.
It depends on your taste, man, because everybody has different tastes.
Everybody has different tastes, but you can say that.
I can say he has his own sound because it's not
interesting sound.
Yes, because it's not traditional boom bap, and yet it's not trap. That cat is adaptive. That nigga, it's kind of hard for me to explain.
You overrating that
whatever,
nigga.
Bro. You just hating on a nigga opinion that's different than yours. That's all. I'm saying,
give some plausible like statements on how does he have his own sound. What about his sound is unique?
I just did. It's not boom bap and it's not trap. It's pretty much in the middle, and it can go either way. His sampling of it reminds me a little bit of Kanye in the beginning, which was one of his inspirations, so that makes sense. But he's turned it into his own. Have you heard his earlier mixtapes?
Yes, I have.
Okay, then.
Man, and that shit, what his production wasn't unique. His rap stood out more than his production did in his earlier mixtapes.
But his production was still there, and like that was a one man thing.
It was still cool. It was still cool. No, and I'm not knocking him being able to do two things. I'm definitely not knocking that. That's the most interesting thing about J. Cole is he can produce and he can rap.
Hey,
come on. That's the most interesting thing about him being able, what he does, he can rap and produce. But the thing is that either one isn't interesting. Let me finish. Overall, as far as what he brings to the game, he isn't bringing anything super unique. The thing about J. Cole, in my opinion, is consistency. J. Cole is consistent. He's like the little engine that keeps going, and people and fans recognize it, and fans are like, "Yo, you consistent, and you put out consistent projects."
To make this clear, this is your opinion.
Nigga, all of this is our opinion. All of this is our opinion.
I'm just saying, but your opinion is a fact. I mean, stop pushing it to me like it's fact.
I ain't pushing it to like it's fact, but I'm saying like you can't take J. Cole and break down like lyrically and say, yo, he's so unique. Because there's a lot of niggas that can sound like J. Cole.
There's a lot of niggas that can sound like a lot of people.
No, but they don't bring the same flavor as them niggas. It can emulate.
Everybody has their own flavor. Just because one cat sounds boring,
Designer ain't got his own flavor.
Of course not. It's Future. That's Future Jr.
Yes. Every nigga ain't got his own flavor.
Who is J. Cole then to you?
He's a little bit of Jay-Z. He's a little bit of Nas.
Who is Kendrick to you?
Kendrick is a lot of niggas, but Kendrick has his own sound. That's the thing. Kendrick has melded all his influences together, and he has created his own sound throughout his mixtapes. Who is Jay-Z to you? Jay-Z was Kane. Jay-Z was fucking Rakim, and Jay-Z created his own sound.
What is Jay-Z's sound?
Jay-Z sound, well, now his sound has changed, but his sound was like hustler, New York shit, sample based at one point. It went from boom bap to sample based. Like Ye
And who
and
are
Just
other
Blaze.
New Yorkers that sound like that New Yorker boom bap sound shit?
I mean, there was
Did Jay get it from?
No. There was plenty of cats, but he created his own sound. J. Cole, in my opinion, didn't create his own unique sound that sounds totally different from everybody else's sound. That's that's when we talk about the arc of somebody's career. They start out with all these fucking this gumbo of influences and all of this shit that they take from. No, let me finish. That they take from all the artists that they're influenced by, and then they start putting it together, and then they start being like, okay, I'm gonna put out songs, and then it gets to the point where they're creating their own sound from those influences because they learn from the masters. But then they take what they know because they gain the knowledge and they put it forth. They put it forth in their art.
Bro, J. Cole does have his own sound. He does not sound like a Nas and Jay-Z. He sounds like a nigga from the South that has no other influences. There's been plenty of cats like that. Jay-Z, I can argue Jay-Z sound more like Biggie. Now, even though in the beginning he had that rapid fire flow, and he based his whole career sounding kind of like Biggie for a while.
How much of his career did he sound like that?
Until like what was the fuck? Was La Familia or whatever? Nah, it wasn't Rock La Familia.
He sounded.
It probably was like
you
that.
No. You might be able to say he sounded like Biggie on Hard Knock Life, and he literally quoted like chicks like bitches rub on your tits.
Yeah, like, but hold on.
But that was one song.
Yeah,
and then
that's not one song.
No, that was one song on Hard Knock Life song, and on that on the same album he had Jigga What Jigga Who, where niggas rapping fast as shit.
Yes, but let me get back to J. Cole, because J. Cole has developed his own sound. He has developed his own lane in which he's in. You can't knock that shit. Just because you
his subject matter, but not how he raps. It doesn't sound interesting. It doesn't sound.
It doesn't sound interesting.
No, it doesn't sound unique. It doesn't sound unique to like
to you. That's what it is to you. To other cats, it just sounds unique to them. Everybody analyzes stuff sonically differently.
No, but if I get a Nas album, if I get a J album, if I get who else, a fucking Fabulous album, if I get a fucking Big L album.
I can't speak on Fabulous.
If I get a fucking Big L album, I sit that down there and be like, yo, you listen to this, and then I get J. Cole's last albums. People are gonna say, yo, he sounds like he's rapping like such and such.
What did he rap like on Forest Hills Drive? Who did he rap like to you?
That's one album I can't speak on because I hadn't heard that album.
What did he rap like in For Your Eyes Only?
It was like kind of like a faster rap style or whatever, and it kind of sounded like some Nas shit.
Not to me, it didn't.
It kind of.
All right, what about the one before? What about freaking? What was it? Because it had forbidden fruit on there.
J. Cole? No. You talking about? It's not Forest Hills Drive.
No, it was before that. It was the one with that's when he started the whole no features thing.
Forbidden fruit. Shit.
Yeah, I know Forbidden Fruit was on it, which was dope, by the way. I like that trap sample he used.
I kind of just liked it because they had Kendrick on it. Like, I
he didn't say shit.
I don't care. It's just like
J. Cole. I thought you had the song because of you.
I think he had the hook. That's all he had, didn't he?
Yeah,
Kendrick. Yeah,
saying a little bit.
Yeah,
that's all he said.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's all he
said. See, that's what I'm talking about. We can't have a conversation.
No, we can't have a conversation.
Because I can't with you.
He got bars. I ain't saying he don't got bars.
Yeah, but like when you make up your mind that either a nigga is trash or he is not unique, that nigga is forever in your mind. Like no matter what he do, this man could literally grab the sun with the palm of his hand and throw that bitch down. Hey, he still garbage though, in my opinion.
No, I said Logic had 2 or 3 songs on his last album that I fuck with. Or no, not even if I fuck with. That he had solid verses on. But I said overall, his verses were weak as shit.
When you talking about Logic.
No, but I'm
agree with you on that.
I'm giving an example though. Like that I can be unbiased towards somebody I don't necessarily like because of their interviews and because of what I feel like is gimmicks and doing Rubik's Cubes while you freestyling and shit. Like, I can still like some shit that he's on. I'm sorry.
I don't know, bro.
Whatever, dude.
Sometimes your audio don't match your visual.
Fuck out of here. But,
I was just saying, though.
Yeah, J. Cole is just uninteresting to me, man. I'm pretty sure y'all can hate me all you want. That's great.
I fucks with J. Cole. I've been fucking with that cat since I found that cat on Last FM. So
hold up. And then there was a point where you were like, I ain't really feeling J. Cole right now.
What? You talking about the first album when it released when he had a whole bunch of...
I don't know, but I remember you being
it was probably that one because it had a whole bunch of pop shit. And
with the Cold Store shit?
His first debut album, but then when he went in detail how he had to put all that shit in there to actually get Jay-Z to release that shit,
Yeah.
I understood that.
Yeah.
That's what I had a problem. Kind of like the same shit I had a problem with the Lupe shit when Lasers came out. In my my naivete, you know, when like he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm finna drop Lasers and shit." I ain't do no research. I gave that man the benefit of the doubt. I know this has nothing to do with the subject. I just gotta get this off my chest. I went to Target. I remember going there right after class. You know, I bought this shit. I was like, "Yo, man." I think I text you and like you
Mario.
and hit somebody. I text you and somebody else. I was like, "Yo, this is about to be the greatest album of the year." I put that bitch in, and you know I had my.
What was it? Hold on. What was that based off of? Like Words I Never Said? Like the single? That single.
It
Words
was
I Never
based
Said?
off the last mixtape. It was based off Enemy of the State when Enemy of the State dropped.
Mm-hmm.
That mixtape was fire.
It was
That
fire.
shit was fire, dog.
Very
I'm
fire.
like, you about to go put out some flames, some polished flames.
I think
shit
I
right
still
there.
I still listen to that from time to time.
That
too.
shit was hard.
Yeah.
Then that's what Swag Surfing was on. No, All the Way Up was still on the radio and shit.
Was it all the way?
Way
Oh, Turn Up,
Turned
yeah.
And he hit that freestyle. I was like, oh shit, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And like I'm like, bruh, we about to get some flames. Put that shit in first 3 tracks. I was like, okay.
Yeah,
All right, we need a warm up. All right, let's get a warm up. Man, we get to the middle of that shit, man, and I love MGMT. I love that group now.
Oh, really?
They
I've
had
heard
no
just a little
business.
bit.
Yeah, they had no business
It's
being on
good.
that damn
That's
album.
funny.
They had no business being on that damn album.
Wow.
Like, and then I was just like, oh my god, because I like EDM. I like electro funkadelic shit.
Yeah,
I love that shit.
Yeah.
That shit didn't mess with this Lupe album at all. At all, because it felt so poppy and trendy.
But do you think that was more of an issue with like maybe Lupe's ears or whoever was producing that song?
I think it was
the
both.
person producing that song's like ears, or do you think it was just like?
I think it's both.
Okay.
I think it was both of that mixed in with the whole fucking fiasco with fucking Atlantic.
Okay.
Because I gotta agree with. I think I'm starting to see what Mike Seatown coming. He was like, I think Lupe wanted to go this route. In the case it failed, who I got to blame? I got to blame Atlantic, who's been fucking me over for a while. Yeah. So it kind of worked out both ways.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, I was hoping it wasn't like that. But then the more you think about it, you can really see that being an option. And then like when I got through the album the first time, I was in denial.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say it was great. I was like, okay, it's solid. And I listened to it for a whole week, and I was like, this shit is ass.
Yeah. You know, here's one thing I do think about Lupe from what I've heard from Lupe in recent times, and then also just his whole track record of like the type of songs he makes. I feel like Lupe may have an issue with the type of beats he picks sometimes, and also like songwriting wise. I think honestly, I don't think he's necessarily the best songwriter. I just think he's like a really good lyricist that can write lyrics basically. I don't think he's necessarily a great songwriter. And can like, because there's certain cats, and I would say Jay-Z, I'll say Childish Gambino, I'll say who else? Chance the Rapper, who have a good ear for production. And of course Ye. I think, but Ye's just his lyricism has gotten shitty.
Well, what lyricism? I don't
Yeah,
even think
exactly,
they
yeah.
can't write shit no more.
Well, whoever's writing his shit, like Saha, you need to write nigga better lyrics. And sometimes, yeah, for real. Like,
Just
yeah,
call
no,
that cat out like, hey,
yeah,
bro.
because that nigga he's one of the the people in the sweatshop of good music. But anyway, like those cats I just named, they have great ears for music. I don't think Lupe has the best ear for music, and I think that there's a super issue on that, where like on his albums when you have that happening. So I think he needs to like really like focus in on like creating great songs, and then maybe after the fact like putting bars to that shit, and then he may see a change in like how popular he is with mainstream music.
Hopefully, man.
Consumers.
I don't know.
I don't think he's really necessarily going for the mainstream success like at this point, but I think that's one way he could get it, and he can get more people that are going to gravitate towards his music, and it'd be more listenable if he did that, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, it would, man. It's just sometimes I don't know, man. When I got that album, like I think I told y'all plenty of times, even behind the scenes, like, man, after that, man, I had to just pay attention closely to this cat, because like because I still gave him a chance, and then he released that other mixtape They had, I think, Lamborghini Angels and
Yeah, that shit was dope.
And what was it like? Super Lupe Flow.
Yeah, SLR.
Yeah, SLR.
Yeah, Super Lupe rap.
And I was like, wait a minute, okay, we might be back.
That's the thing. Then they got bars.
Yeah, he got bars.
Yeah.
And like shit, the mixtapes was fucking fire. Like his albums were just garbage. Like American Rap album, Food and Liquor 2 came out. I think I can only give you like 3 songs I actually gave a shit about.
Yeah,
I listened to that shit like thoroughly, and I only came out with 3 tracks, and they weren't even like great. They were just like, I can bear with it.
Yeah. But I also will say this, and I will always put you on blast for this shit. You had like such a fucking high expectation of that nigga's perfection when it came to like putting out albums till fucking Lasers. When Lasers dropped, that's when you were like, that nigga human. I don't want to listen to this nigga no more.
Hey,
that nigga put out this trash album.
Bro, you can't give me like my high hopes like that, because that's what I first. Like, when I discovered Lupe, I just started really listening.
Getting into, like, lyrical rap?
Yeah, just listening to fucking music for substance and everything.
Yeah, I feel that.
And, like, he first gave me this shit, I was like, damn, alright. Second album, The Cool.
Yeah.
Boy, that shit's a classic. To me, I don't know if y'all want this, I don't care. To me, that shit is glorified fucking diamond.
Yeah,
I'm like...
Yeah, it was tough.
I was like, dog, this might be the dude, man. And then the mixtapes that came afterwards, I think he dropped 2 of them out. I was just like, bruh. And then Lasers dropped, and I was like, oh my god, all right. Gave you a chance when the next mixtape came out. I'm like, okay, and that's when I started to learn, like, okay, just because Cat drops a 5 mixtape, don't mean album gonna be shit.
Yeah,
like it. And I had to put that in my mind, and then.
Yeah, if you listen to like, I guess, lyrical rap earlier, there's been cats like Cassidy, cats like Fabulous. They put out good mixtapes and shit, and then the album is shitty as fuck.
It's like it's either gonna be completely shit, it's gonna be so poppy.
It's gonna be like
what happened?
Super R&B.
You're gonna be like, what happened? Like when Cassidy first came out, I only remember this cat from Hotel. Yeah. I didn't even think that cat had bars for real till I actually started like looking up like ciphers and freestyles. Exactly. I was like,
Battle and Freeway and shit.
I'm over here like, where was this cat at on the album?
Yeah. I mean, he had like a few songs, but it was like very few on that first album.
And like, it was just like, dang, man. You gotta do what sells, bro.
Yeah, definitely. What was I gonna say, man? Like, I think that just in general, man, cats. Oh, well, okay. This was my thing. Like, what do you think is different between if Lupe could execute Lasers in a great way, similar to like how Childish Gambino experiments and then the shit ends up sounding good? Would you have held Lasers against Lupe?
Well, if he made
he made the same album
before the internet. I mean, because the internet album.
I guess so.
Lasers.
Yeah, similar. Yeah.
If he went that route,
yeah,
it'd have been cool because like I was on Gambino like when he was my history with Gambino was I was like, yo, I can't get this cat. I can't take him serious. All he's talking about is his dick all the time.
Yeah, okay.
And then like I went back in his works and like I saw the progression. Y'all got to give me credit for sticking with this cat through his work because some of his earlier shit was trash.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, why am I still listening? Then like it steadily got better. Then when I got to Camp, I was like, damn, okay, this cat is dope. Then we hit the internet. No, then it was like after Camp, it was Royalty, and I took it for like I took it was like it was more like, yo, I could do this trap Atlanta sound better than half these cats, and I was like, okay, I can bump to this. I know a lot of people hated it, but I actually enjoyed Royalty. Then we got to Because the Internet, and that's when like I was like, I think for me it happened at a point where I was experimenting with a lot of music. I was listening to everything, so that stuff kind of went right up my alley. It was just Childish Gambino. I didn't expect it. And then when I heard it, it was like, okay, this ain't really different from what I was listening to. Yeah. It was, but it's like I guess I could adapt to it easier.
Yeah. But here's the thing I'm gonna point out. Okay, we'll take three albums. Because the Internet, Yeezus, and Lasers. All 3 of them are using some type of electronic sound as like the backdrop of the album. 2 of those fucking albums are shitty. one album is great. You know why the one album is great is because I feel like Childish Gambino paid attention to detail, and he took a sound, he took like I guess a genre, if you will, and researched it, understood it, and then the person that he had helped co-produce the album, Ludwig, like that cat understood what his vision was and how it should come out sounding.
Yeah, they worked at it, and then
exactly.
It was like I think.
I honestly like. Well, I'm not to cut you off. I'm sorry to cut you off, but like Lupe and Ye, I feel like they kind of half-assed, especially Lupe, because Lupe is not a producer, so I don't knock him as much for not understanding the sound and being able to utilize the sound. But the cats that produce that shit, I don't feel like they understood the sound, and I don't feel like they understood like what would be a good way of including Lupe's lyricism and including that sound and crafting great music within that the Lasers album. I feel like they just took the production and then they just put fucking Lupe shit over that, and then they were like, this we're gonna make this shit work because he's lyrical, and people want to look, people want to get the album because they assume it's gonna have lyricism in it, and they thought that shit was gonna work out somehow. So I blame Ye more than I blame fucking Lupe for the shit coming out shitty.
I also put it on this, like the reason Childish Gambino's album came out wasn't just because he actually studied. I think he like
and he enjoyed that.
I think he felt that. I don't know how crazy that sounds, but I think he was actually like.
No, he listened. He also like just like give it the conversation some context. He actually like listened to a lot of those music, like a lot of it was like industrial. I think it's industrial music. Like he listened to a lot of that music before he started creating because of the internet, and then he happened to incorporate it, and then he helped co-produce a lot of the songs that ended up being on because of the internet. So I feel like there's way more layers to like why his project turned out way better than Yeezus.
And then it was more quality in it.
Yeah.
And then, like, I think Kanye Yeezus shit was him just trying to be weird for the sake of being weird. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Kanye, it's like, you weren't really feeling this. You didn't really want your music to go that way. I think you were trying so hard to be different from everybody else.
He's trying to make, quote unquote, another experimental album.
Give you, like, a shock factor for, like, oh, I never thought Kanye would do this.
Yeah.
It's all right for that. And then, like, you got fucking dick riders everywhere. Everything Kanye touched turned to gold. They was like, oh, man, it was cool. Like, the nigga got too many yes men over there. I don't know who said that, but somebody hit
Charlamagne
it
said
right
that. Charlamagne said that.
He said he got too many yes men on him, and I full-heartedly agree. I think Lupe tried to take that direction because he wanted to go that route. He just didn't know how to like execute it.
And I feel like Ye had. Here's the thing about Ye, man. Ye, there's been times where Ye has had like co-producers and co-writers and all that shit. And I feel like if you're gonna do like a industrial sounding album or any experimental album where you're jumping out of your genre and creating something in somebody else's genre, you're gonna have to bring people from that genre on your team to at least like check out what you're doing, how you're doing it, and to give you advice and to kind of like say, well, man, dude, what I'm used to doing as far as in my genre, I wouldn't do that with that sound. I wouldn't put that drum with that snare and all this shit and all these background noises you got. I wouldn't put that. I might do this. And you need somebody to kind of advise you on like how to go about it.
Like your fam that ain't hot.
Exactly. And you need a no man. You need somebody that's gonna be like, yo, that shit don't sound right. It sounds off. It doesn't like the lyrics on this track don't sound good, man. You need somebody to do stuff like that, man.
Oh yeah.
The experimental sound of like Yeezus.
My bad, y'all. Technical difficulties.
Yeah, we're talking about like the experimental sound of Yeezus, Lasers, and because of the internet. And in summation, just like I feel like any artist that like experiments, such as the artists I just named, or the albums that of the artists I just named, they need to like know the sound and get that shit down packed on a certain level before they try to make an album. Because
just take your time with the shit, man. Just like I don't know, both of them like Lasers didn't seem rushed. It just seems poorly
executed.
Yeah, poorly executed.
Exactly.
These just seem rushed to me.
I don't know.
Because when it came out like 2010. Or did it come after?
It came out after
it came
Watch
out
the
before
Throne.
My Dark Twisted Fantasy, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
And Watch the Throne.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
And Watch the Throne was disappointing. I'm going to say that first and foremost.
I had no expectations.
Dude, I had a lot of expectations for that, man.
Like, I heard Otis. I was like, Otis is cool.
Otis was cool, yeah.
And then, what was it? Niggas in Paris and,
I love.
What was that church? What was the shit?
No Church in the Wild. That was
No
dope.
Church in the Wild.
Yeah, with Frank
that was
Ocean. Featuring Frank
So there's like 3 songs. I was like,
Oh, there was other songs on the album that sounded dope to me, but like they were few and far between. And you got like arguably one of the greatest lyricists of all time, Jay-Z, and then arguably one of, you can smirk all you want. This nigga smirking. Jay-Z fans, Jay-Z stands, get him, sick him. But yeah, you got arguably one of the greatest rappers of all time. Then you have arguably one of the greatest artists in general, because I can't call you one of the greatest lyricists if niggas ghostwrote your shit. Yay, I'm sorry.
How many people go like in the beginning?
Ron Fest co-wrote Jesus Walks.
Oh, he did. I forgot that.
Yep.
He did.
Yep. I it's hard for me to, because I still kind of respect Ye a little bit more.
Because the cat, like, his artistry was in the beginning.
Yeah.
Man, like,
he had bars in the beginning, definitely.
Yeah, he had bars, because that's why I said, like Ryan Fitz helped that cat, like, song structure-wise. But in the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm saying in the beginning, because I don't know, I felt like College Dropout, and especially late registration, and even though, well, it might have started changing the graduation, because graduation was still dope. Mm-hmm. But late registration, I think all that shit came from Ye. Because I don't think you can have somebody ghost write how you felt when your grandma died. Well, when your grandma was in the hospital struggling and everything.
Nah, Dre did. Not about his grandma, but I think when his brother died.
I mean, like, but Dre didn't have bars anyway. Like, Kanye always wanted people to respect him as a rapper.
In the begining.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In the beginning.
I feel like we're reciting like Genesis. In the beginning, there was the.
It's like we always got to make that reference, because we know now it ain't no more beginning. This is Jesus.
Yeah, and then I also feel like there was a point where Ye was Ye wanted to kind of do everything on his own, but I think when you hit like, even with late registration had him. He got Beck's father, whose name is John Bryan, to like orchestrate, because Beck's father's like a conductor, as far as like conducting the orchestras and shit. Like conduct like what was it? Crack Music. He conducted the orchestra on that.
Wasn't Gunplay on that shit?
No, Game was on there.
That was Game.
And they said Gunplay. Oh my god, that was like so left field. Some gangster nigga basically. That's what
Gunplay was on one.
He's on Cartoons and Serial. You think something totally different?
No,
he didn't do
no. He was on Drive Slow, wasn't he?
No, T.I. was on Drive Slow. T.I.
No,
I think
GLC.
T.I. was on.
Paul Wall was on.
T.I. might have been on the remix. I think T.I. might have been
Paul
on the
Wall was on the remix. It was another cat with him on that.
GLC. GLC was on the original. Yeah, you can Google it.
Man, I got fucking... Yeah, I'm about to say, I got Googles.
Yeah. GLC was on Drive Slow, and Paul Wall was on Drive Slow. I think T.I. was on the remix. I'm pretty sure he was on the remix. But anyway, like, John Bryan, like, co-produced a few songs on Late Registration. That's the thing that, for me, with Ye, and I'm not saying for you to be a great artist, you gotta write everything, but I think when you talk about, like, greatest rappers of all time, you gotta write, like, 90% of your shit. Or 95% of your shit, at least, in my opinion. For me to consider you a
it was
GOAT.
GLC.
Yeah, but...
GLC?
Yeah, GLC. You said who is he? He was an artist on Good Music, like early.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but anyway, like for me to consider somebody a GOAT, you have to write your shit, like a GOAT in rap. But like I feel like it's always murky on what Kanye wrote and what he like completely produced. Cause like I said, late registration he had co-producing Help, and then I want to say Graduation he had co-producing Help, and of course, if anybody's knowledgeable about like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, he had a lot of cats. Like he had Madlib, he had I want to say he might have not Jay Dilla. He didn't have Jay Dilla, but I think he had like a boom bap. I know he had Havoc from Mobb Deep help co-produce some stuff on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and of course he had Sci-Hi like writing some of his bars and stuff. So it's real murky on like what Ye does and what Ye doesn't do, because he's had help on My Life of Pablo, and he wasn't even on a lot of songs on My Life of Pablo, or he had like short verses, or he was doing the chorus and stuff. So, you know, I feel like Ye's like one of them cats that just wants to put out like the best project he can put out, and he doesn't necessarily care if he's doing everything or if he's not doing everything.
Nah.
So,
yeah. But yeah. So this is just I thought was just talking about music and everything.
Did you have anything as far as like to say about like Ye, what Ye has done? Like if like how do you feel about Ye not writing all this shit or not necessarily producing all this shit?
Me, I don't know, man. I guess I'm in a weird place. I just accepted it.
Oh, but would you ever consider him from like
no.
the GOAT? You wouldn't? Greatest of all time? Okay.
No. Yeah, that shit.
Yeah,
that
he's
shit
like,
sell.
Yeah,
that shit sell. That shit sell so long ago. It don't even matter no more.
Or would you like? Would it like be? Would it be?
He's a top influencer in the game. I'm not.
Yeah, but would it be a situation where like some people are talking about when they add like a Barry Bonds, they would put him in the like he put his list on like greatest of all time, but they would put an asterisk by it. Would you even consider doing something like that?
No.
Or you wouldn't want to even mention it?
Nah.
Real?
Because
Okay.
if we just talking about like just the top MC,
Yeah.
he's automatically out.
Just kind of yeah.
See, it'd been different if he wrote all this shit and he was producing. That means he has an up on everybody because you not only like had bars, but you created everything about your fucking sound. So it's like,
how much would you give a cat a pass on as far as like if he had like say for instance somebody had like
if it's just on the hook.
No. Say for instance Kendrick like had some help. You found out like maybe 2 or 3 songs he had on his project somebody else wrote. Would you give him a pass on that if the rest of his discography?
One of the songs is just him like singing or something, or they're like
No, something super lyrical. Like the person wrote the bars.
and somebody wrote all the bars
For those particular songs, yeah. Would you completely discount him?
Man, I had he has to drop out, man.
Really?
Yeah,
There's
dude.
cats that have had help though.
I mean, yeah, they had help with like certain directions of their bars
Or
like,
lines.
I would like you to put this word here instead of here. You be like, cool, like that. But a nigga literally like wrote an essay, said read this essay word for word in this song. Yeah, you out, dog.
So 98% of your shit could be like from you wrote all that shit, and then 2%.
Unless that 2% is like a cat writing you like
a hook or
something. Yeah, a hook or like you like actually singing on the track or something like that. We talking about straight bars, dog. Like you can't just have a cat write a whole song for you, dude. This has to be you. Mm-hmm. So that's how I stand.
Okay, I feel you. I don't know. That'd be hard for me, man. Because I'm pretty sure some cats have had help. Like, maybe a verse, maybe.
Maybe a way to, like, restructure your verse.
No, I'm saying, like, maybe I feel like...
just write a verse for you?
Yeah. Maybe the nigga just heard a nice verse and he was just like, man, yo...
I guess I'm too old school in that aspect,
really?
Right?
Okay. I feel you.
I can't respect that shit, dog.
Not saying respect it, but you give a nigga
a pass. I can't give you, like, top... of all time, unless like we just find out
off of like 3 verses, like say for instance,
unless everybody in this like top 5 has had that shit, has had somebody do that shit for him, write a verse for him. If you're the only one and you're still considered one of the tops, I can't put you in there, dog. Oh, yeah, that ain't fair.
Yeah, but I think it's difficult. It's difficult for me to like be too harsh on like something like that. We're not talking about like a situation where it's a known fact. There's like plenty of reference tracks that somebody has wrote and then they rapped and been like, yo, you just copy what I did and do that on a song and that's going to be cool. I'm saying, I don't know, like, I can't compare it to that. But what I can say is that, a situation like that, you can't, like, you definitely can't have that on the list. But if somebody just had like maybe 2 or 3 verses written for them, I don't know if I can completely discount them. Yeah, that's a difficult one for me, man.
Yeah, it was like I made my shit like completely black and white on that one.
Yeah, I feel you.
I ain't trying to be in the middle of that one.
Yeah, because I feel like somebody like J. Cole, because you can only put out so much, like you writing all your own shit, you can only put out so much material at a time. Like J. Cole, I feel like J. Cole writes all his shit.
Yeah, and that's why I say the same about Kendrick, because he doesn't put projects out that close to each other where it feels like he has to rush to do to. I think when you put a lot of stuff out close together, that's when like somebody writing your verses, it sounds plausible.
Yeah.
But when you do your shit like Good Kid, Mad City dropped like late 2011, 2012,
yeah.
And then like the next project didn't come till 2015.
Right.
And there wasn't no mixtape, no nothing in between. It was like a guest feature here and there, but the rest of that shit was project. Then 2017.
But Kendrick's an exception because Kendrick puts a lot of like effort into his shit to the point where, you know, he's gonna have a certain theme to it. It's gonna have like it might have like multiple meanings, and it's gonna be like it's gonna be like really artistic as opposed to like. You know, people can hate on me for saying this. Future shit is gonna have like it's gonna be kind of simplistic in the way.
It's gonna have the same purple, the same.
Yeah, it's gonna have the same. It's gonna have the same like type of lyricism, if you want to call it lyricism. And like he has a beat that a producer gives to him. He's gonna write his verse in like 10 minutes or however long it takes him to write a verse, even if it even takes that long. And he's gonna put it out, and he can put out 30 mixtapes in 1 year because there's not gonna be a lot of like interesting subject matter. It's gonna be the same type shit. Mm-hmm. So you know the expectation for when Kendrick comes out with an album and how long it takes he's gonna have a lot more leeway than the Future. You're gonna be like, I'm waiting for this Future album 2 years. Nobody's gonna wait for a Future album 2 years because they're like, yo, you can put this shit out like back to back, every damn week.
Of course, but yeah, I mean that's all I had to say on it.
Okay. So yeah, I didn't have anything to add to that.
Well, it's Phenom and Tez.
Cesarelli. Be 2/3 of Freeform. Shout outs to Henny. Yeah, he probably gonna add some in like later on.
Gonna come in and Joe Budden face. Y'all can't talk about music. Y'all know I am music.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry, I can't. Dude, when he said that shit, I was literally like,
that nigga passionate about music.
I was like, this nigga had a true Kanye moment. Like, what, nigga? I see music before I am music.
I am the Steve Jobs. I am the Walt Disney.
I am this shit.
Exactly.
I ain't mad at it.
I am the Gandhi of this music shit.
You whack rappers.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, y'all, we out, man.
Deuces.
Peace.
Hey yo, stand clear. You are not a man if you cannot stand here. Fun, Tigolo make the song cry grown man tears with that Bull City flow off the corner of Austin and Angier. Sex symbol rap, you niggas is playing Greer. We throw bowls like Bill Lambier. Plant fear the first time around, no do-overs. Where the fuck is my glass of sangria?